intro. Welcome back to the CNT podcast. I'm Justin Yomuk, and who am I here with?
Tommy Terrio, as always. Let's do this.
Whoa, that was a fun intro. I gotta do it. It was a fun time recording it for the Instagram and TikTok. Let's get right on into it. Card of the week. Go.
All right, let's first make sure y'all can see this first. I want you to be able to fully appreciate this card. So Justin hooked me up with this, by the way. So shout out to you.
We conducted the idea together. It just didn't work out that where you couldn't join me for it, which I was very torn up about. I wanted to do that with you, but
so recent interview, CNT interviewee Cole Barr was nice enough to sign a bunch of cards for us.
Cole Barr is a legend.
Yeah, able to hook up all of the CNT CNT employees. Dylan, Ava, Trevor, and then the two of us.
Yeah. I think it's funny you call them employees. They don't get paid.
No, I don't know. I don't really know what volunteer.
We don't
maybe?
get paid.
I don't know. We don't get paid.
I call it the CNT team.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I don't really have a word for it. So
Also, sad. I want to give myself a little pat on the back. I bought all of these cards because we came up with the idea of going to see him play together, and then Tommy had the idea we should get some cards of him because we knew they had some, and have the whole CNT team buy them. I didn't really want to use any of our budget for that because I want to use it for things that would have a longer impact. So I paid for them, but one of them didn't get here on time when it said it would. So Trevor got a signed ball from him.
Yep. So once again, thank you to the four of you, Justin, and then the rest of y'all. I appreciate the hard work.
Five of us. Hey, appreciate the five of us.
Well,
you deserve recognition too, Tommy.
I'm not gonna say thank you to my.
I don't care if you get the thank you too. Say it. Thank you to the five of us.
Shout out the five of us. The hard work. We put this in every week. We're trying to make the best content for all of you. So, just know we're still kicking. We're gonna keep this rolling. So, yeah.
Yeah, you deserve props, man. Can't believe you're trying to cut yourself out.
I'm not trying to cut myself out. I just really don't think it's a right to thank myself or something.
Thank yourself. Do you want to start with overrated or underrated today?
Let's start with underrated. Do you want me to start with underrated, or do you want to start?
Your choice. So if you start with underrated, I'll do overrated. If you have me start with underrated, you do overrated. Just like last week.
I think let's flip it around. I did overrated first, so I think you should do overrated first. So let's start with you and overrated. I'm
starting with overrated. Okay. Ooh. Tommy, do you want me to do my hottest one first?
Let's work up to that.
Travis Durant. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Tommy.
Travis the catcher, Travis Darno.
Travis Darno. I hate it when I don't know. I'm terrible with pronunciation and spelling, so I hate it when I mispronounce a name on the podcast. He's batting 252, 6 home runs, 294 on base percentage, a 731 OPS, and a 437 slugging percentage. He's all right. He's pretty solid. I'm seeing people say he's the best catcher in the NL, and he should make the All-Star game over Wilson Contreras. That's what makes him overrated. He's overhyped. Wilson Contreras has a higher batting average by 40%. By 40 points. He has 4 more home runs. His on-base percentage is, I believe, 130 higher. The slugging is about the same. And Wilson Contreras' OPS is 200 more. They are not on the same level. Wilson Contreras has been the best catcher in all of baseball and is miles better than Travis. I needed to say that. I needed to get it out. That's why he made my list. He's not bad, but to say that he deserves the All-Star Game starters over Wilson Contreras is outrageous. Also, peep the River Cats Cup, AAA affiliate of the Giants. I don't know. Every time I trade from him, I've done that. I don't know if anyone's noticed so far.
I don't know if I would say that he's overrated. I don't know. I feel like he's pretty properly rated in my personal opinion. I don't know.
If you're saying he's an all-star worthy catcher, I think you're overrating him.
I think he's an all-star worthy catcher because you can. I mean, it's justifiable to have one more than one catcher who
Yeah, but
deserves an all-star.
he's not the second best catcher in the NL. I would take Will Smith over him. That's just first one off the top of my head. Yadier Molina. Two off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Who's that Rockies catcher? He's having a pretty good season.
No, not really. None
No,
of our catchers are.
No, one of them was having a decent season. He might not have played enough to be considered, but
What, Elias Diaz? You mean?
yeah, he had a good month or so because I had him on my fantasy team for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at now. We don't have enough stability at catcher to make it justifiable.
Drew Romo. I'm so excited for Drew Romo.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because Servin has come up and he's actually not doing bad. So it'll be interesting to see where
Bowman
Romo's
should be
placed.
traded. Drew Romo is king.
I certainly hope you're right, Justin.
I'm in love with him.
Justin, there's one name I need to say that makes me worried.
What?
Dustin Fowler.
Okay, I didn't like him for his skill. I liked him because I pulled a rookie auto of him, which made me love him. I love Drew Romo because
and
of
then you
his
spend
play on
probably
the field.
$150 on cards.
No, I made one trade. All of the cards were valued at like 5 or 10 trade value tops. See what I did there with the tops? Tops cards. Top. I'm so funny. Tommy,
please send help. I'm tired.
Tommy couldn't handle not hearing my puns every day. It's really the joyous moments of his life.
It's the most interesting moments of my life, to say the least.
I'll take it because interesting is good.
All right. My first underrated, I got to go with a Rocky. I mean, come on. This wouldn't be complete without putting in a Rocky.
I have an underrated Cub on mine. And Manuel.
I only did one bias. He was great. I went with Connor Joe.
Connor Joe supremacy. I love that guy.
So I have a funny story to tell. I was out in Colorado last summer visiting my grandparents, right? And we turned on a Rockies game because they have it locally and all that, right? And
makes sense.
Look who's on. It's the Rockies against the Dodgers. It's when I was introduced to Bruce Gratterall for the first time, by the way. I really like him. But Connor Joseph's at the plate, and I'm absolutely clowning him. Unfortunately, he struck out that at bat. It is what it is.
Why were you clowning on him?
The name, it was just Connor Joe. It was like the 2 first name joke and just stuff like that. It was simple jokes, but it was just I don't know. I don't know why really, but it was just and hindsight's 2020, but I'm certainly not making jokes now. Kids hitting 267, 110 OPS plus, 14 ribbies, only 5 home runs, but he has 1.0 WAR, which is already almost as good as the rest of his WAR combined. He did not play in 2020, but he's played about 116 games for the Rockies over the past 2 years.
I really like Connor Joe. Do you have anything else?
Sorry,
I said I really like Connor Joe, and then do you have anything else on him?
Why is great? As you can see, we're a very professional program.
We are professional.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Do you have anything more to say on Connor Joe?
Just that he happens to be the favorite of the Rockies social media manager, whoever he or she is. He is featured the most.
One of the Rockies social media workers is Travis Toon's fiance. So
fun connection there.
She must really like Connor Joe. Oh, dude, Travis Toon, what a guy!
Shout out to him.
Shout out to his girlfriend. She played I believe it was college softball at a pretty high level, and then out of college got a job with the Rockies.
That's awesome. By the way, Justin, do you see the girl that's going D2? There's a girl that's going D2 in baseball.
I've not seen that. No, I do not keep up with college baseball.
You should. There's a lot of fun
And
stuff
that's
going
great.
on now.
That definitely is. I know one player very well because Trevor Butler loves Texas and he won't shut up about first baseman Ivan Melendez. That kid is good.
I'm just
He
mad
is
because my
good.
team's out of it, so it's I don't care anymore.
Ivan Melendez is good. He is good. I want to say my Cubs player deserves recognition, and it's not even biased. My Mariners player isn't being talked about enough. He's being talked about, and there's a little bit of bias, but he's not being talked about enough.
All right, we'll get to them.
Overrated.
Overrated.
I traded this player in fantasy after a couple of bad starts. I got Dansby Swanson for him straight up. Dansby Swanson
we talked
is now.
About this. I don't remember.
I know Dansby Swanson. So pitchers are supposed to average a lot more than position players. Dansby Swanson is averaging about 7.6 points right now, killing it. One of the top shortstops in fantasy. I traded this pitcher for him, who is currently averaging about 8 points, who's doing very bad. This pitcher is 0 for 4, a 5.05 ERA with only 25 strikeouts. Any guesses, Tommy? Any guesses? With the stats and knowing that I made this trade, it was a while ago. Any guesses?
We talked about this like a week and a half ago.
We did.
I don't remember.
Zach Greinke.
Okay, that's right. Oh, yeah.
I get he's old, but he should retire after the season if he's playing like this. He's playing horrible.
No slander on Zach Greinke.
I'm not slandering him. I like Zach Greinke. He used to be great. His time is up. He's not pitching well at all.
Yeah.
And the fact that I could get Dansby Swanson out of him, very good fantasy trade.
Yeah.
However, that started my cluttered infield. I've had way too many infielders for so long now.
That is, there is the reasonable statement that I guess you could argue that it just really isn't the same.
It really just isn't.
So you hate seeing careers go down like this, really. There's no good way to do it, though, you figure, because if they retire while they're on top, there's always the what if they didn't, But there's also those people that retire at the wrong time. I think Posey's one of the few good examples of the right time to retire, He had one last hurrah. Yeah, Giants, I got it.
Right. Yeah, he got my pun. Not really a pun, but
That wasn't a pun, that was just a reference. You have anything else to say on Greinke before I go my next underrated?
The fact that I could get Dansby Swanson for him might have been the trade of the year in fantasy. Out of every single league there is, that might be the trade of the year. It just might. No, not really. Given he was averaging like 15 points at the time I traded, which was still a lot below average. And he was only like 0 for 2 with a 4.35 ERA and like 10 strikeouts at the time. But he was doing bad. I was considering dropping him, but I was able to flip him for Swanson, who also was not playing as good right now, but he is heated up, dude. Swanson is good.
Yeah.
Swanson is good. That's it. Take it away before I get carried away.
Oh, you already have gotten carried away, so there's not much more I can do in that regard.
Fair enough.
But I'm going out to Pittsburgh, the Steel City, heart of the blue collar America.
If this is who I think it is, I have him too.
Your toughest man's toughest man. Brian Reynolds.
It's not who I also wait. Pittsburgh Pirates. Yeah, he's on the Pirates. Sorry.
I promise you he's on the Pirates, Justin.
No, I'm talking about my guy. I'm talking about my underrated guy. It's not Brian Reynolds.
So Brian Reynolds has been on unfortunately it's been cold this year, but overall he's still a good player, and he's at 227 right now. I imagine he'll turn it around, but just when you're on the Pirates, you're just not gonna be talked about. It's just not gonna happen.
Especially if you're really good.
Yeah, the only talks are gonna be the Pirates trading you for more draft capital.
Only to trade that draft capital in another 5 years for more draft capital. It's an endless cycle with them.
They haven't fished themselves out of anything since like the McCutcheon, like the McCutcheon era, like the early McCutcheon era.
Okay, Tommy, now can I do my hot of the hot takes?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. This guy is batting 249 with 26 RBIs and 10 home runs with a 762 OPS, which is about league average. Where would you rank him in second baseman? Like top 5, top 10, like in increments of 5. Where would you place those stats?
Can you give me this? Can you give me the stats one more time? Sorry, I just want to make sure.
249 batting average, 26 RBIs, 10 home runs, and a 762 OPS.
8 to 12 range, probably.
8 to 12 range. I agree. I think he's in the 10 to 12 range. This is someone I believe we both left off our top 15 and has improved a lot. But
Okay.
do you have any ideas of who it is?
No.
Okay.
No.
He has improved a lot, and he's being recognized for that being improved a lot, and that is great. But he's being talked about as a top 5 second baseman right now when he is cooled off and just isn't top 5 anymore. Gleyber Torres. I'm not saying he's bad because overrated does not mean bad. I'm saying he is being talked about too much and that he is cooled down to the point where if you're arguing he's top 5, top 8, that's just not true anymore. He's like top 10, top 12.
I'm okay if you throw him at 8 to 9. I'm okay with that personally.
I'm not. I think that's just a smidge high. I think I don't think he's insanely overrated. I just think he's getting a lot of talk, which he deserves the talk for an improvement, but he should not. I'm hearing top 5, top 3. I've heard a few people say like that's just not true.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, kudos to him for trotting around. Like that's great. I'm very happy he trotted around, but
yeah, he was kind of just
he's being overhyped
along for a while, but now he's actually putting in the work. So
good for him. I agree. Perfectly said. That was said perfectly by Tommy. What a guy Tommy is.
All right, we are going right back to the Steel City.
Okay, if this is who I have, that's gonna be freaky.
Let's go to the is he wait, let me make sure.
I think we have the same guy. Let's go
to the bullpen.
Yeah, we have the same guy.
David Bednar.
Yeah. Oh my god. He is so good. You give your take and then I'll wait. I'll talk about him when I get to him and he'll be my first.
Homeboy already has 1.3 WAR, 2-1 win, 2-1 win loss, 1.33 ERA in 22 games. He has 10 saves. By the way, I don't really mind the 10 saves. That's what happens when you're on the Pirates.
I thought that was kind of a lot for a Pirates closer.
Whip, 37 strikeouts across 27 innings pitched. He was 8th in Rookie of the Year voting, and he's just continuing to.
He is good. He is so good. I'm willing to say this year he's a top 5 relief pitcher this year alone. Like if you only look this year, I'm saying top 5, top 3.
I have to go back and look at some stats for some guys.
That's fair. I'm gonna wait. I have a lot to say on him because he is on my fantasy team. So I'm gonna wait. He'll be my first underrated I talk about though. I promise you that.
By the way, 1.6 WPA as a reliever is also very impressive.
Dude, he is going off. Normally, I don't like to have Pirates pitchers on my team, but with him, I don't get worried he's gonna blow it. I get worried that he won't get the save because the Pirates suck.
Yeah.
My next one, Mike Clevenger. I'm not saying he's bad, but 1-0, 3.18 ERA, 1.118 WHIP, and only 20 strikeouts. I get he's coming back from a gruesome injury, but people are calling him a top 20 pitcher again, and that he doesn't have the stats to back that up.
I don't hate those stats too much, I'll be honest.
I don't hate them either, but they're not great. They're not bad though, but
yeah.
It's just to say he's top 20, top 30, it's too early to tell.
I haven't seen enough people talking about him like you have, I guess, because I haven't seen that same form of discussion surrounding him, but that's just me.
I've seen a few things. I've seen like one too many things talking about him.
That's fair. Okay. Not often in the underrated you have superstars, because superstars, they need to have some juice behind them to achieve that superstar status. But there's one that I think that somehow, some way, despite their pure dominance of the game of baseball right now, somehow, some way, they're being, one of the most dominant pitchers on earth right now, and yet they're still not being talked about enough.
I think we have the same guy again.
Milwaukee Brewers.
We do not.
Closer, Josh Hader. First off, beautiful locks of hair. Second off,
I've seen better. Better lots of hair.
ERA, 18 saves across 20 games, 30 strikeouts across 18 and 2/3, and a .643 whip.
He's good. He blew a save.
Majestic.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing that helps his case. He blew one save, and the world freaked out because it's like the first time he's done it in like 5 years.
It was wild.
He blew it to it was the Phillies, right?
No, that was the Cardinals, or I'll look.
No,
Give me a second.
I think it was the Phillies.
Let me
but Josh Hader, he's been a menace to the Cubs for years. He is good at baseball.
And yet he's
like,
still not
really
talking. Yeah,
good.
Phillies.
I knew it. I saw something about that today again. It's still being talked about, and it was a few days ago. It's been the buzz of the baseball world, if you would.
It was his first of the season, and it was his first earned run since last July.
Dude, like,
and yet nobody talks about this guy. Like, what are we doing?
It's because he's a relief pitch. No one really talks about relievers.
If you've been paying attention to my weekend reviews,
I have been.
You should be. You should know that I was saying that he has a Cy Young case this year, which is wild to think. But
I know it wasn't last week's. I know that.
But it was recently.
It was recently, but it wasn't last week's. So it's not fresh on my mind.
Yeah.
I haven't keeping up with them.
Pop quiz: who was the last reliever to win Cy Young?
I don't know.
Eric Gagne, 2003.
See, I wasn't even alive yet.
Fun bit of trivia. Neither was I. Fun bit of trivia for you.
Well, I'm older than you, Tommy, and the people know that. So if I wasn't alive, you weren't alive either. The people know I'm the oldest, besides besides Dylan on the CNT team.
Okay.
Also, fun bit of CNT trivia. Dylan's going to Indiana, the same college that Cole Ball went to.
There you go.
Fun bit of trivia. I would have thought that Dylan would have wanted to go into DePaul, but
yeah,
he's going to Indiana.
Bloomington, my friend. Bloomington calls.
Bloomington. That's where my grandparents live. That's where I'll be. I'll be recording an episode or two in Bloomington. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
I was talking about Bloomington, Indiana, but okay.
I'm talking about Bloomington, Illinois. That's what I thought you were talking about.
I'm talking about Bloomington, Indiana, because that's where he's going to school, because that's where the University of Indiana is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When I hear Bloomington, I think Bloomington, Illinois, because that's where my family
You know what
lives.
I think, Justin?
I think I'm right.
I think you're wrong.
But Tommy.
But Justin.
But Tommy.
You're wrong. It's simple as that.
Take that back.
No. It's your turn. Go.
Well, I'll be in Bloomington, Illinois, recording an episode or two. Marcelo Zuna, I hate this guy with a burning passion.
Why? What did he do to you?
It's not what he did to me. He beat up his wife.
Oh, I forgot about that bit.
Yeah.
Wait, was that ever proved though?
Yes. He shouldn't have a job in the MLB. 2, he's not playing good. He's batting .270. No, that's his on base percentage. .270. He's batting .221. 23 RBIs, 10 home runs, and an OPS of .664. And he's being talked about like he's an all-star caliber player. And he, quite frankly, he sucks. He can't hit anything, and he beat up his wife, so he shouldn't even have a job in baseball.
Yeah, he was suspended. Oh my goodness, people are weird. MLB is
corrupt. All major sports leagues are.
retrograde. He had a retroactive 20-game suspension.
Yeah.
What on earth?
Makes me wonder.
I don't know. If a guy gets popped for weed, he's going to be, suspended for a year. But and none
God
of the
forbid you
Astros
hit
players
your
were.
wife, it's fine with MLB. Like,
That's
we'll
wild.
get into this in another episode. That's planned is how to grow the game of baseball. I'm bringing this part up with how corrupt it is, but
Yeah,
it's so corrupt.
that's a problem.
It's a major problem.
All right, this is my last underrated.
And then I have an underrated, but it's really just gonna be following up with David Bednar.
Okay, so I'm calling Joe Musgrove. How about that?
For under 100%.
ERA
Agreed.
under
Agreed.
ERA under 1.7, WHIP under 0.1 or under 1. Under 0.1 would be the greatest pitcher of all time. If it was under 0.1, we would be, guy would never give up anything.
He would win you championships in real life and fantasy.
So yeah, 64 strikeouts and 66 innings pitched, 1.8 WAR, 6-0. So he kind of, does also benefit from, being on the Padres.
As one.
He's another possible Cy Young candidate. Just, keep a watch out. Because Bueller has been struggling recently.
Fun fact, not fun fact, fun trivia. What team is he on in his Topps rookie card? That's right. We have awkward silence on CNT.
I have no idea. Like Blue Jays or something. I don't know.
Astros.
With the Astros for 2 years, he had a 4.06 and a 4.77 ERA in his 2 seasons with the Astros. And then he spent 3 in Pittsburgh.
Yep. So we should have whenever we have a fun fact with fun trivia like for cards, we should do it. That'd be a fun addition. That was fun.
Yeah, I think so.
I enjoyed that.
This is by far his lowest ERA ever. His next lowest ERA is 3.18 last year.
Yeah. He's going off. So my first underrated was Tommy's, I think his third underrated. David Bednar. Tommy said it very good. 2-1, 10 saves, 1.33 ERA, 37 strikeouts with a 0.778 WHIP. I want to read you some of his fantasy stats to make up for me not bringing you him and Tommy getting to deliver it. Which makes me actually kind of a little upset because I thought I was so cool for having this. And he was so underground, but Tommy had him too. His position rank 6 in fantasy. And he's averaging 8.5 points for a reliever, which is pretty good. And he's only rostered in 79.7 leagues. So not even 80% of leagues know about him, which I think is crazy.
That's wild.
He's very good. He is very, very good. So that's really all I have. Tommy really hit it over the head with him.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
But he didn't hit. But Tommy did not hit David over the head. He just hit us over the head with how good he is. He didn't actually hit David in the head. Don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't plan on hitting David Bednar in the head. I feel like
if you do, I'll be very upset.
I feel like I had a 6'7" O'Neal Cruz looking back at me if I tried to.
Dude, could you imagine you hit him over the head right before we play in fantasy, so I lose my best relief pitcher?
That'd be wild. But no, I wouldn't do that. What kind of that'd be, that's a
you would never do it, but it's just it's funny to think about that what if.
Yeah. All right. It's time for me to rip into players. How about this?
Yeah! It's my favorite part. Rip into him.
Oh boy. Remind me the last time he was good, probably
with the Cubs. No, he was his last year with the Cubs, he was very good.
Yeah, he went 8-3, 2.01 ERA, but he had 4.22 last year and 3.61 this year. I mean, just ew.
Yeah.
He was second in Cy Young voting for the Cubs in his last year with the Cubs. You know that?
Yes, he was very good with us.
He's twice been second in Cy Young.
Yeah,
Fascinating. I don't know. The season with the Cubs is much better. If you put him in I don't know who won 2013 Cy Young.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Scherzer won it actually
Max.
in Detroit.
That's right.
Okay, I
That
want
is
to read
not
off
the place you want to go in your MLB career.
I want to read off this list just because I think this is awesome. This list. Do you mind?
I would be honored if you read me your list.
All right. So this is AL Cy Young voting from 2013. Number 1 is Max Scherzer. Then you have Yu Darvish, Hisashi Iwakuma. So Max Scherzer in Detroit, Yu Darvish in Texas, Iwakuma in Seattle, Anibal Sanchez.
I haven't thought
in
about
Detroit.
Iwakuma in so long.
Bro, that name. I went to a. I think it was a no hitter. I think of his.
Yeah, he had a no-hitter.
Anibal Sanchez in Detroit, Chris Sale in Chicago, Bartolo Colon in Oakland, Koji Uehara in Boston, Felix in Seattle, Greg Holland in Kansas City, Matt Moore in Tampa, and James Shields in Kansas City. That's wild.
Dude. Oh, what a group of fellas.
Oh, by the way, third in NL Cy Young voting, by the way. Rest in peace, Jose Fernandez.
Bro, it makes me so sad what happened. Like he just had a kid. He was gonna be a superstar. He was so
Boating accident. My goodness.
there's only and then he got in hit his like one of his only career home runs right after.
Off Bartolo.
Dude, that breaks my heart what happened. Another one, I don't remember his name, but it was the Royals guy who got hit with the car and he was asking for help. And the people there took his World Series ring and then left him to die. That was another one that broke my heart. I'm forgetting his name. He was a young
Ventura.
star. Yeah, he was a star for the Royals. Was a pretty big part of the pitching staff that won the World Series.
And then there's one other one.
Yeah.
Was Taveras.
Tyler
Oscar
Skaggs
Taveras.
too.
Tyler Skaggs is another one. I don't know if Tyler Skaggs. So Tyler Skaggs was good, but I don't know if he's in the same category.
He wasn't in the same category, but he was pretty good. And it's still, no matter what, it's sad to see a young pro athlete die because he wasn't. Bro. He was young. I think he was like 28.
Oscar Taveras. No, that's not. Yeah, it might be the guy I'm thinking of. He was 22 when he died in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, Tyler Skaggs was 27.
He only played 1 year. He played 80 games in the MLB.
Yeah, it just sucks. Tyler Skaggs was 27. Like, he might not have been having the great year, but he had time to turn it around. It breaks your heart seeing that.
It's the what if to the worst extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way,
what really hurt me about Jose Fernandez is like not even that he could have been a superstar. It was the fact that his child was just born, and then at his funeral, his mom was holding the baby, and the baby was like reaching out to a picture of him. I saw that. I lost it. With Jose Fernandez, I'm way more saddened to think about his child than what he could have been in the MLB, which is like how it should be. But man that picture of the baby reaching out, that broke me when I saw that.
Bro, we go through all sorts of emotions as sports fans, right? Like I think let's take an interlude break and we'll talk about this, right? We go through a lot of emotions as sports fans. We feel we feel the highs of winning, we feel the lows of losing. We go through playoff droughts, playoff wins, like all the emotions of all this, right?
I can tell you all about playoff droughts.
Amen. I mean, not even though, because you weren't around. You were
108 years, Tommy. Do you know how many jokes I got? Do you know how many jokes I heard?
Fair.
About the 108 years of not winning a World Series?
From
you alone. From you alone. No, I got clowned on. I don't know it. Like, I'm not the best Cubs fan.
And I'd only known you for like a month and a half. That's the best part of that, is I'd only known you for a month and a half, and I was clowning you for it.
I think that's what made us grow so close, is that you put yourself out there, not only knowing me for such a little time, but just to clown on me about
Yeah.
my baseball team. I think that's what helped us grow so close so fast.
I certainly think that's true.
The
But
clowning.
we all know about like the emotions that come with sports, but the injuries. I could just
Yeah.
go off some, but Derek Rose, Acuna's last year was rough. But
Mm.
and then just like Jose Fernandez,
Trout
Kobe,
100.
Kobe, like
He would
bro.
play through a lot of them though. Oh,
But then like
you're not talking about
I'm not talking about
injuries now.
injuries
You're
with
talking
Kobe. I'm
about the
talking when
death.
Kobe died.
Yeah, dude. I remember I was watching the Pro Bowl. I was down when
Do you
not Pro
remember?
me.
Are you familiar with the
I told
term
my brother
flashlight
about it. He
moment?
didn't believe me. He didn't even believe me
Are
when
you
I
familiar with the
told
term
him.
flashlight moment or like light bulb moment? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, it's that moment in time where you remember, like you remember where you were, what was happening, who was in the room when those events happened. And for me, one of those is when Kobe died.
Me too.
I was in Indianola when it happened.
He was
It was
I was in
rough.
Bellevue. I never even and Kobe always killed the Mavs, but like I'd always loved him, even though like there's no reason for me to like him. I just always did.
And it's another one of those things that it's like all these players, you never feel like you met them, but they like you felt like they were a part of who you were growing up.
And they are like I'll probably never meet Chris Bryant. But like without Chris Bryant, I don't think I'd be who I am today. Like he
Yeah.
made me truly fall in love with baseball. Without Bryant, I don't think I would be as big of a baseball fan, which would probably mean I wouldn't have started a baseball podcast.
Yeah, I don't think any of us. I
Like,
mean, it's wild all these the butterfly chain of events that comes from things, but it really is so true.
I like Chris Bryant. Like, he'll never know that he changed my life, but he did.
Yeah.
He'll never know it either.
All right, so slowly
Can we
getting back on track.
can we get out of the sadness?
I think it's necessary though because you gotta
No, that was
pay
it
homage
was
to
a
those
good
guys.
tangent. It was a good tangent. It was just sad.
Certainly. All right.
So I don't even know who left off. Where did we get off track?
I left off on Darvish because I was reading off the names for the 2013 Cy Young.
Okay, so it's me. Underrated JP Crawford.
Okay.
He deserves to be an all-star starter, I think.
I don't know about that, but yeah, okay.
823 OPS, 143 OPS plus, 5 home runs, and a 294 batting average. A lot of the shortstops this year have struggled. He has not. That's it. That's my take. Who'd you have over him?
Jeremy
All-star.
Pena.
See, I don't know if I can put Pena in over him. I'm not willing to say Pena's been better than JP because JP's been a much better defender as well.
Also, Tim Anderson is another one.
I don't know if I would put Tim Anderson over. Maybe, but I don't know.
Who else?
Let's do an overrated. I'm ready. I want you to rip into a player.
I don't know if you're ready
But
for
not,
this one. Are you ready?
Don't hit them over the head with a bat. That's not okay, Tommy. We don't do that here.
Man, you're no fun.
I'm sorry.
All right. If you're not gonna let me have fun. I don't know. Wander's also an option, by the way.
Whoa. Oh, wait, for All-Star. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought you were about to say he's an option for overrated.
Oh no. He's not an
Okay.
option. I'm not giving out options. I'm just telling you guys how it is. Aaron Nola, by the way.
Yeah.
He has an exceptional whip that he shouldn't have an ERA like this. He has a 3.50 ERA, but he has a .884 whip. He has
That
85
is
strikeouts
weird.
across 74 2/3. I mean, come on, my friend. He was a 7th overall pick from 2014 out of LSU. He has a 2 WAR already. He has a good strikeout to walk. It's 8.5. He has a 1.2 walks per 9. But I don't know. His last truly great season, was, I don't know, maybe 2018. After that, he was, he's been 500 the past 3 years in his career. He hasn't hit below 3 since 2018. He hasn't had an ERA below 3 since 2018. Yeah, he just really isn't doing it for me.
I agree. I just got horrible, terrible news. Casey Mize will undergo Tommy John surgery.
Okay, two things. One, that
Will be
sucks,
out.
but two, it should have happened a long time ago.
I don't disagree with that, but like that, I love Casey Mize. I PC the dude. I pulled an auto of him, and it was like the happiest I've ever done for pulling a card out of 99 as well. Number 9 out of number 9 of 99. That's heartbreaking. I love Casey Mize. Yeah, but I don't disagree. He probably should have taken it earlier. And I agree with Aaron Dola. He's struggling.
And it's like, I can't like diagnose one reason or another that he is. That's the funniest bit of it. It's just, he is for one reason or another. And it's like, somehow he still gained this reputation as, a great pitcher, but he really isn't. He's a 2 or a 3, maybe even a 4 on a good playoff rotation.
Yeah. My next one, he's getting a little recognition, but not enough, so to speak. 797 OPS, 346 on base percentage, 27 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, and a 290 batting average. Would you say that's a top 7 second baseman? So that's better stats than Gleyber Torres.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Where do you rank Santiago Espinal? Not top 7. You wouldn't think to put him there.
Yeah, probably not.
That's my exact point. He's playing great. I just traded for him in fantasy too. It's just he's playing good. I see some people say he should be an all-star starter. I don't know if I would go that far.
I don't think that's justifiable.
I wouldn't go that far, but I think he should be a reserve.
I don't know. I feel bad that he isn't talked about enough, but I don't know where I would throw him, honestly.
It's fair enough. I'll take it. But he is underrated. Who's your next overrated? I'm dying to know, Tommy. I'm dying to know.
All right. You get 3 options. 1, 2, or 3. Please pick 3.
2. I'm kidding. 3. I want 3. I want 3.
No, if you want, Tommy, if you want 2, we can go 2.
Tommy,
2's not that great, but I mean, it's probably the least spicy out of the 3.
I want 3.
Okay, 3 is JT Realmuto.
Whoa! You want Phillies fans coming after you?
Yeah, sure. I tried to give him Trevor Story, but they wouldn't take him. So
explain.
242 batting average, 3 home runs, 20 ribbies, 5 stolen bases, which 5 stolen bases makes sense as a catch or whatever. 681 OPS, 95 OPS plus, and yet somehow this guy's supposed to be like a superstar catcher. Get out of here, man.
I don't disagree. I was not expecting that. I'll be honest.
And he does not have the best fielding percentage in the world. If you're looking at it, he has an 833 fielding percentage, which is by far the worst of his career.
I have some good news for you, Tommy.
What?
You don't like JT then, do you?
No, not much.
He is down 90 to 10% in round 2 of our fan favorites tournament.
Nice.
It's 9-1 vote. You voted for Contreras, I see.
Did I? Think so.
Yeah.
Or I just picked JT to spite you, maybe. I don't know.
No, I'm telling you voted for Wilson.
Okay, that works for me.
If I'm telling you what you voted for, I know what you voted for.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't disagree. Okay. Tommy, I'm gonna give you a choice. You either have number 2 or number 4. That's the order I wrote them. Number 2 No, wait, let me tell. They're both pitchers. One of them is a star pitcher, but he is still has not talked about quite enough. And I have a hot take about him, and I just want to rant about him. And number two is a Cubs player who is not being talked about at all and deserves to be.
Let's go 4.
4. You chose the Cubs player. Notification.
By the way, Ivan Melendez, the guy you were talking about earlier, the Hispanic Titanic.
Tommy, we gotta record CNT.
Okay,
Look.
good to know.
Look, my phone's telling me it's time to record CNT.
Okay, thanks for watching the episode, guys. We need to go record. I'll see you guys later.
Oh man, I'm freaking out.
Uh-oh, Justin, we're in trouble now.
Okay, what about Ivan Melendez?
He just hit his 31st home run of the season.
Ivan! If he doesn't go round 1, I'm gonna be surprised.
Bro, his nickname is legendary.
What is it?
The Hispanic Titanic.
Yes, it is. I knew that. I wanted you to say that. If he's not going in round 1, I want the Cubs to draft him for a future first baseman. He's so good. He strikes out less than 5% of the time in college. He has 31 home runs. He has a decent amount of stolen bases. I want him on the Cubs. So the only time you're gonna hear me talk good about the Longhorns. So Trevor, enjoy it while you can.
That's funny.
That's the only time I'll talk good about them. Because Ivan Melendez is him. Okay, so you chose the Cubs pitcher. What do you think of a player who is 6-1, 39 strikeouts, is a 1.138 WHIP, and has an ERA of 3.17, who is a starting pitcher and a reliever, and has been a reliever, but was put into a starting role after a few injuries?
How many innings has he pitched?
I did not write that down, shockingly.
Yeah, if you don't mind looking that up, that'll give me some good perspective on it.
He's on my fantasy team, so it's easy. Oh my God, they don't show innings pitched on fantasy.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
All right. While Justin's doing his thing, I want to talk about Tony La Russa for a minute. That was one of the worst intentional. So we were kind of criticizing Joe Madden earlier in the year for intentionally walking Corey Seager. Bases loaded. That's fine. It ended up working out. They ended up winning the game. But walking Trey Turner on a 1-2 count. I mean, how much confidence do you not have in a guy? I wrote about this earlier, and it's just like you put a guy on the mound because you expect him to put you in a position to win the ball game. You got to have faith in that guy to strike him out if he's already gotten him down 1-2. I mean, come on. That was poorly done. Senior, you found him? Well, tech problems are fun. So Justin,
I'm having enough of this tech problems. What's this, 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah. That's all your fault too. So I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, Tommy, that wasn't very nice.
Okay.
Apologize. I think we need it. Yes.
Do you issue an apology?
Thank you. Okay. Back to TJ. Oh, I haven't said the name yet. You didn't hear me. Oh, I did the big reveal. After we cut out, I kept talking for like 2 minutes. Okay, so he's pitched 48.1 innings, and after his last start, his ERA went from 1.99 to 3.17. So he had one bad start. Before that start, he had not let in more than 3 earned runs in a game. So he's been phenomenal. And 3.17 is still a pretty good ERA. So between 48.1 innings pitched, 1.138 WHIP, 39 strikeouts, 6-1, and a 3.17 ERA, what would you say to that for someone who was a reliever and got thrusted into a starting job and is age 27?
Be pretty impressed.
Well, then you should be impressed by Keegan Thompson.
Okay, I vaguely know the name.
I love him. I'm pretty sure I've gotten his autograph at a game before. I'm pretty sure it's Keegan, if I'm thinking right. I'm pretty confident I am thinking right. Got Alex
Nice.
Mills. Yeah. He's great. He's been so good for me.
Yeah,
So
I've seen the name more on your fantasy team than talked about by anybody else. So I imagine it's a good sign.
exactly. That is my problem with it. Keegan
Yeah,
Thompson is a stud. A stud.
a stud.
A stud.
How stud?
He's the studliest muffin out there. If you
Okay.
wanted a stud muffin, you'd want him.
Okay, good to know.
Is this your
More
last
you know.
overrated? Is this your last overrated, or do you have two more? You have two
I have
more.
two
right?
more. I have two.
Okay, get into one. Get into the least spiciest, and then save the spiciest of the two for last.
Okay, Cody Bellinger. Somehow,
I agree.
some way, he's still regarded as a good player.
He shouldn't be.
Why? I don't know. He sucks, and he has sucked for a long time. Do you want to read off some stats?
I would love for some stats to be read off to me.
Okay, Cody Bellinger, Dodgers first baseman and outfielder. 1.2 WAR, 7 on runs, 211 batting average, 91 OPS plus, 691 OPS, 286 on base percentage. He won MVP in 2019. Remember the Belly versus Yelly was awesome, but there's nothing to celebrate here with really either of them, but more so Bellinger. Yelly.
So what you called him a first base outfielder of the Los Angeles Dodgers?
Yeah.
He should be a first base third baseman of the Oklahoma City Dodgers.
Yeah.
The AAA team. Good joke, Justin. I'm proud of that one.
He only played 95 games last year. He's gotten 52 in this year. I don't know. I'm not really inspired by him, really.
I agree. Do you have anything else? Because I've been looking forward to this all day long.
No, go ahead.
I want everyone who watches this podcast to give me a formal apology, including you, Tommy.
We'll see.
Including you.
Maybe.
6-2, 1.61 ERA, 0.944 WHIP, 77 strikeouts, a 3.5 WAR. Sandy Alcantara. You and Chowder called me crazy for picking him to be the Cy Young. You said he is good, but he is not Cy Young material yet. I want my props. I saw this coming from a mile away. He is going off right now. I have him in fantasy. He has single-handedly won me matchups. He is the best pitcher in baseball right now. As of right now, only looking at this season, Sandy Alcantara is the best starting pitcher in the league and is the NL Cy Young. Like I said, I want my respect and my apology. I was right. I called this. I knew it was happening. I'm a prophet. That is all I have.
I'm just trying to figure one thing out, Justin. There's only one thing I'm trying to figure out. Do you know what that is?
What?
How he's the Cy Young when the only two categories he leads the league in is innings pitched and batters faced. That's it. Oh, and complete game. So props to him. He got one complete game. Good, whatever. He's the only guy. He's the only player to get a complete game. Whatever.
Because the other people who lead in those stats lead in the one stat ahead of him, and then he's like number 2 or 3. There's no other person who leads in more. I believe last time I checked, no one pitcher leads in other of the stats and 2 stats ahead of him. And the only pitcher I think you could argue that's been better and more dominant than him would be Nestor Cortez, and he's in the AL, so it wouldn't matter.
One sec.
You're going to pull up the receipts and see that I might be wrong and I might be a little mistaken. I haven't checked the leaders in NL stuff in a few days, maybe even a week.
To your credit, Sandy Alcantara is the betting favorite, so good for you, for what it's worth.
Mhm.
I don't know though. He's still at plus 400 odds, so Vegas really doesn't have confidence in any one player doing it yet.
That's fair.
But I mean, I'm not willing to give you a formal apology yet. I still think you're crazy, but
I will get a formal apology by the end of the year.
okay.
Okay, hear me out. I
I'll
want to
issue
make a
a
bet.
formal apology if he
Tommy,
wins the Cy Young.
Tommy, no,
Simple as
I'm
that.
making a bet with you right now. If he wins Cy Young at the start of the first episode after it's announced, you open the episode with an apology to me. If he doesn't win Cy Young, I open up with an apology saying that I was on the hype train too soon and that I should not have called him the Cy Young this early on.
Fair.
Wait, it's a bet then.
You have a deal.
It's on. So who's your last overrated?
A former Rocky.
Formal. He's mad. He left him and now he's mad.
Trevor Story.
Oh, I disagree. Well, about to go watch him play tonight.
The home away splits have been concerning for a long time. And now that he's out of Coors, he's just offensively struggling. He doesn't need to be in Boston. Like, there's no guarantee that he's going to start on a night-to-night basis. It's just there's a lot of.
I don't agree, but I don't fully disagree at the same time.
Story was my boy, but how he's not, and it's just here we are.
I don't know how I feel about that one. Like, he was so hot against the Manos, and he's pulled down a bit, but not like an insane amount.
But before that, he really. But before, I mean, that was
before that, he was astronomically bad.
Yeah.
So, but no one was like saying he was good either at that time. So it makes me hard to think he was
the Red Sox
overrated.
paid him like he was.
I don't know. I think if anything, he's underperforming, not overrated.
I suppose that is one way to look at it.
So that's it for this episode.
There you go.
A few technical difficulties, a couple of bets, a couple of Sandy Alcantara drooling moments. Those ones came from me. He is my guy. I've been on his hype train for years now. I predicted the Cy Young. I drafted him with my third pick in the fantasy draft.
Yep. Yep.
If I ever get called Sandy Alcantara bandwagon, I might just start a fight. Like, I've been on his train since day numero uno.
There you go.
For some reason, the first thing that popped in my head was once, which is 11 in Spanish. I don't know what
in Spanish. I'm not gonna input.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete,
ocho,
nueve, diez, once, doce. Why'd you take it from me? I was doing it. Cien, 100. It's 100.
Sante, I don't know.
So
I keep going.
I think it's time to close out this episode like David Bednar closes out the Rockies wins.
Rockies.
Frank, no, the Pirates wins. Dude, that was so clever. And then I messed it up. That was so clever. Legit. Listen to the sign.
Believe, Justin.
And
just
we're
believe.
out of here.
Just believe. Thank
you all for watching. Listen to the sign.
Justin, which sign should I? Which one should I listen to? Believe. Should I listen?
I believe that you will subscribe to the CNT podcast.
I am subscribed to the CNT podcast.
So am I. Now, I believe everyone watching will subscribe to the CNT podcast. Don't let me believe wrong. Make me a smart believer. Make me a true believer. I'm begging you, please. Tommy's lost it. I'm obviously a comedian. Hey, no, you take that back. I'm so funny. Ask anyone at my school.
I'm not taking it back.
Well, I think that you're being rude. What do you think about that? Okay.
I'm glad you
Thank you
feel
for
that way,
watching.
Justin.
Thank you for watching that episode. You can see underrated JP Crawford bobblehead. Subscribe to the CNT podcast. It's meant to be. Voila.
Adios. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.